Good morning. As you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know you're here. And I'm going to pull this up on my phone. All right. So we are good. We are good. Everything worked well this morning. So that's a blessing. So we had some pretty severe storms here yesterday. It was, good morning, Carrie. It was quite intense. And for those that showed up last night for the um, the the make more money and pay less tax, I apologize that we had such a difficult, terrible storms. And so she was freezing and garbled for a good bit of it. And I was trying to keep it going and see if we could hear it. We're going to try to do it another day. And she may go into the group and share some of her notes. I am breaking. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can delete a few little things and see if that helps any. All right, so let me know. Am I still breaking? 1,000 things open on my windows here. So I will. All right. Can you let me know? Is that better? So is it better now? Just deleted a bunch of things in my, let me take this one away. That one's probably a drainer. Carrie said I'm breaking up a little bit. So am I breaking up for you as well? So is it better now? I hope so. I mean, yesterday's thing with Thompson, bless her, we were, so we're some of her notes maybe in the group, so people that might. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so the affirmation stating a lot of different things this morning, and I had a really cool. So does that mean I'm breaking up? I'm not sure if I understand. Oh my gosh, I'm still doing it. So I don't know what would be causing it, because there's no storms right now. My voice. I wonder if it could be my better now. Okay. All right, give me just a second. Let me see. What else can I close on here? Let's see. Okay. Cool. So maybe I closed up enough things that it'll be better. And as long as you can hear me well enough to get the affirmation and the journal prompt, then we're good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share this affirmation. But this is one of the things that was coming up for me this morning as I was listening to, good. Let's see. As I was listening to some people on YouTube and looking back at, good morning, Wendy. Looking back at some different ideas that I've had, because I've put things in my queue a lot of times for something that's coming up for me, like the night before or whatever, and then the next morning it doesn't seem relevant, so I'll leave it in there. So this morning I went and looked, and the things that were there didn't feel relevant, so I sat back and thought, okay, so what is it really coming up for me this morning? And so I'm going to share. And hopefully it's something that is good for you today too. So the affirmation today is, I find strength and self-confidence within me each day. And that is so important, because what we look for, we find, right? So if we're looking for strength and self-confidence that's showing up, then we're going to find more of it, and we'll find more evidence of the how that has worked in your life, right? And so I, for one, am always looking for, how am I building strength and self-confidence in me? What is it that I'm doing? How can I do more of it? That kind of stuff. So I don't know, is anybody else ever feeling like strength and self-confidence would be really good to add into my my toolbox right now? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? I cleaned my glasses this morning, but for some reason it feels like I'm still looking through a fog, so I must have not got them as clean as I thought. Isn't it funny? Because, I always talk about our lens of the world, right? And how we see things. So right now it kind of feels like there's a little bit of a yes. Oh, good morning, Kimmy. That's amazing, Wendy. It is amazing how what our image of ourselves changes our thought patterns and stuff. But there's a I forgot the doctor's name. He actually wrote a book, and he is a plastic surgeon. And I'll have to think about it and see if I can remember what the book is. But in this book, he talks about how people that came to him for a lot of times, they, like, I think he said like 90% of the time. Yeah, yeah. Um, Physical appearance. And so if somebody was being held back because they had a facial disfigurement, and he would go, mental state was not any different, and so they would not. I don't know, Wendy. I'm wondering if my cords are messed up or something on my microphone. Does that help any? See, I think I need to get new earpiece. Yes, definitely, Lynn. So anyway, this doctor, can you hear me okay? Let's see if I can, maybe if I put my earpiece on. All right, is that any better? Okay, so maybe it has something to do with not having my earpiece on. Okay. or my earpiece, my headphones. All right. So the thing is that this doctor did different, a lot of different plastic surgeries and everything, and people thought that they would feel and be confident and everything once they had this physical stuff taken care of. But they still had the limiting beliefs, their vision of the world once the it was done, and so they would still fall back into the not having the confidence and feeling like they weren't good enough and so many different things, even though he had done the surgery. And so he learned that before they did the surgery, he would do a lot of mindset work with them. And then sometimes people had the surgery that some chose not to get the surgery. Sketchy again. What the heck? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have to order a new microphone and everything. Let me see if I move it closer. Does that help any? Maybe it is a cord. Because, I've had this one for a while. So after a while, the cords get a little off. I know I need new earphones. All right. So hopefully you can hear me well enough. Can you? All right. So let's go ahead and go to the journal prompt. Okay. Give me just a second. Okay, better. Okay. All right. So our journal prompt is reflect on moments today as you go through your day where you feel strong and confident. And actually, it would be even better too if you kind of look back at times in your life that you felt very strong and confident. And when you can find those things, it's easier to kind of tune in to how they felt, the the actions that you were taking that kind of helped you to tap in to your inner strength and self-confidence. Because typically, like with my clients, a lot of times I will have them go back into their memory banks and we'll close our eyes and we'll kind of drop into even going through a timeline sometimes to help them find when they felt the most, for this instance, the most strong and confident. And then once they can find that state, then we kind of go into, how did that feel? What was going on? How were you presenting yourself? How did you feel about your body? How did you feel about where you are in your life? And all of those things so that we can really, really tap in to that experience, what it felt like. Because if you felt it once, you can feel it again. And the thing is, we want to tap into that feeling of it as we're doing like our affirmation. I find strength and self-confidence within me each day. So with that statement by itself, that's good. But if we can tap into a time that we felt that, and when we say this statement, we can kind of bring that feeling into us, then it's going to be so much easier for us to actually feel that on a daily basis. And remember, whatever we look for, we find. So we will feel that feeling, and we've really tapped into the experience. Really tapping in brings it to life more. And then we have different things that come up every day that will actually solidify that or demonstrate that, right? So the thing is, you want to do is, how can you, as you tap into all of this and you feel it, how can you really get more of that into your experience, right? Every day. And so it's, there have been so many times that I've had the feeling of confidence or the feeling of, that went amazing. I love how that turned out. And actually, I had a hypnosis client yesterday that after I finished her session and we were talking just a little bit, and I tend to, at the end of the conversation or the end of the session, not to talk a lot about things because they're still under hypnosis a little bit. And so as we talked a little bit, I realized that she needed to go back into hypnosis and us really, really grab the things that we had just worked on and make them even stronger. So I put her back into hypnosis. We really worked on just a touch more. I gave her a great anchor. And then when I brought her back out, then in the things that we had just talked about. But the thing that was amazing to me, that I even get amazed at the, and so it just gave me much more confidence and, I guess, inner strength to see her shift and to say, oh man, this is stuff is amazing. You just don't even know how much stuff you have opened up for me with this process. And so that really solidified more of the confidence in what I do and how I can help people. And then I looked back to see, when have been other times that I've had that experience. And it hasn't all been around coaching, of course. Some of it's been around being able to just have a good attitude about something that's going on in my life. And so, there's so many places that we can gain this inner strength, this confidence within us. And like I said, is there, for you guys that are here, is there something that you can relate to, that you can look back on and say, there's a time that I remember that I had this strength and confidence within me, and I surprised even myself. So can you guys kind of reflect back on a time that was true? Wonder how I get new cords for this stuff. I don't know if I want to have to order a whole new microphone and everything, but I might end up having to do it. So how about it, guys? What you feeling? Okay, when I was putting a collection together for a client. Yes, Carrie, I love that. So the thing to do today is to really tap in to how that felt when you were putting this collection together for a client and you felt this strength and this confidence because you knew it was going to be amazing, but then you even surprised yourself a little bit. Tap into how that feels, right? Great success with an event like last October with our cancer fashion show. Beautiful, Wendy. Oh, yes, Carrie, it was wonderful. So that's great. So today, as you say this affirmation to yourself, you're going to close your eyes and finished your thing with your client, and you are like, wow, that even was so more amazing than I anticipated. And the same for you, Wendy, when you did this fashion show for cancer in October, then the tap into that feeling of it exceeded your expectations. And it was like, I love it when I can go to this place where oh, that is a gift. I do have a gift with that. And I love it when that comes up for me. And so bring it in to your space today. It was a great collaboration. Yes. And that's a gift when you can collaborate with others and get that experience. That's a gift too. Because a lot of people can't do things collaboratively. They have to be a one-person show. And so when you can collaborate with others, but still feel elated and surprised at the outcome, and because you had a part in it, Wendy. And so it wasn't like everybody did it without you. And so just make sure the thing that can happen to some of us sometimes, and I'm not saying this is you, Wendy, but what can happen to some of us sometimes is we will give accolades to everybody else that was part of it and not ourselves. So I want you to really take ownership of the part that you played in that experience, right? So can you tap into that today? Making sure that you're not just supporting and believing on everybody else's experience, but you're really tapping in to your part that you played and how it can really lift your vibration and your confidence and just your ability to just feel it, right? So remember, our affirmation for today is I find strength and self-confidence within me each day. And I just gave you an amazing way to bring this up within you every single day. So if you ever falter where there's a time that you think, oh, I just screwed up. This didn't work out. Maybe I'm not meant to do this. Maybe somebody else would be better at this. Any of that time, anything like that shows up for you, this is the perfect time that you can bring this experience up so that it's like, yes, I can do this. I've done this before. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday, last week, 5 minutes ago. It's what you're bringing into your experience right this moment, right? And remember, our affirmation, we're going to put it on our index cards. We're going to put it on our sticky notes, the screensaver on our phone, anywhere we can, right? And then today, get your notebook out, get your journal out, and then put the date, the affirmation, which is I find strength and self-confidence within me each day. You're going to put that up there, and you're going to breathe into that thought, bringing up this experience that you've had in the past that was exactly that, right? And then you're going to make sure that you put your journal prompt, reflect on moments today, or reflect on moments. Let's just take the day out. Reflect on moments where you felt strong and confident, which is what we just did. And what actions or thoughts helped you tap into this inner strength and self-confidence? And then how can you cultivate more of these moments in your everyday life? And the way that you do that is by bringing this visual, this emotion, this feeling up within you. And so as you've got all this down in your journal, your notebook, and you take a few moments to get into silence and just really breathe into the space that helps you to feel it and to see it, quieting that old chatter of maybe I'm not as strong and confident as I want to be. And, that could be true. Maybe you're not as strong and confident as what you want to be. But the thing is, if you can tap into when you were, you're going to bring more of it to you. And the thing that I want, like I said, for Wendy, to make sure that you are, when you're in a collaborative thing and you're noticing how everybody did amazing, notice how amazing you are at the same time, right? But when we're thinking about, if we're thinking that we're not as strong and confident as we would like, then we're not actually taking ownership of what we do have. So I want us to celebrate the fact that we do have, and we have had in the past, strength and confidence in different areas of our life. And just recognize that if we've done it before, we can do it again. It is part of us. It's just sometimes we kind of lose that feeling of it. We lose the celebration of it because we're comparing to what we want and where we are. But it's just like if you're wanting to be a millionaire and you've got, let's just say for kicks and giggles, right? You want to be a millionaire and your goal was at the end of the year you would be a millionaire. And if you get to the end of the year and you've got $900,000, that's what your income was. Now this, this could be a really stretch for a lot of people. So let's change it to where you wanted to make $100,000 in the year. Let's just do that. So it'd be a lot easier for most people's mind to go around that. So if you get to the end of the year and your goal was to have $100,000 and you look at your bank account and there's 90,000 there, are you going to stress over the fact that you didn't get that last 10,000? Or are you going to celebrate the fact that you got 90? And what most people do is they stress over the fact that they didn't reach their goal. And that is equates to me like if a child that's in school and they wanted to make 100 on a test and they made a 90 and they feel like a failure. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like instead of celebrating the fact that they made a 90 on this test that was hard, they chastise themselves for not making 100. And we tend to do that to ourselves a lot, where we chastise ourselves for not reaching whatever the pinnacle that we wanted to, instead of seeing how far we've gone. And that's why it's so important to me that we keep track of these affirmations and these journal prompts. Because like I said, if we can't see something in as far as we don't have a measuring stick of the changes that we've made, we can just really give ourselves a hard time for not having created what we wanted. Celebrate, because I did not have that, but I do resonate with chastising. Okay. All right. So does that mean you like to celebrate, but sometimes you didn't because you chastised yourself for not having reached the goal, Kimmy? Is that what you mean? Because, there's a little bit of a delay when something shows up, and I don't know what I said that created that response. So I apologize if I'm asking a silly question because it was perfect with what I said at the moment. Okay, yeah. And, that's human nature. I try to celebrate everything, Wendy says. Yes, yes. Beautiful. And I want to invite you, and I'm not saying that words are this paramount, but if you would take the word try out and just say that you celebrate everything, because in hypnosis and coaching and all these things, the one thing that we tell people to do if they're going to fail is to try. And it's like when you say the word try, that almost says it's not going to happen. And remember, we've talked so many times about how powerful words are. And try implies to the subconscious mind that something's hard. It implies that it's almost impossible. It implies that more than likely it's not going to happen. And so it's just that one little tiny tweak of your sentence. So if you wanted to say, I work on celebrating everything all the time. I'm getting better at celebrating everything. Anything but the word try. So you take it as, I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying if you'll tweak that one word, it will support you in that thought so much more. But I know there have many, many times that I've had experiences where I didn't celebrate something that I did because I felt like it still wasn't good enough, or there was still so much further to go. And okay. So I've gotten so much better at it to where I do celebrate the things that I try. See, try. So I was doing it too. So I celebrate anytime I move forward. I love to celebrate. Yes, I love that too. And, there are times that I catch myself falling back into some old patterns. But the beauty of all this growth and stuff that we're doing is it's not that you never do it. We're not perfect. We're human, right? It is the fact that we catch ourselves very quickly. And because like the other day, what was it? I had an experience where one of the things I talk about is anything that comes after the words I am is ultra powerful, right? And I was talking to someone and I caught myself saying, I am. And then I went into this spree of about how tired I was and I was exhausted and I had all these different things that were going on that just, it was like, I almost felt like I couldn't catch my breath, and the fact that I had so many tasks that I wanted to do and I wasn't getting them done. And when I caught myself and I said, wait. No, I feel tired in this moment, although I know it's going to get better. And I switched it around, right? Because anything that comes after the words I am are very powerful. And it's just like if you've ever been in around some people and somebody, let's say, there's a group of people and then they're all laughing and they're having a good time. And somebody comes up and starts talking and they look at one of them and say, are you okay? You look a little pale today. And they say, well, I was feeling a little bit off just a little while ago. And someone can actually put it in their mind to the fact that maybe they're pale, maybe they don't feel as good as they thought they did. And you can almost physically watch them decline in the amount of laughter that they have, how they stand. It's amazing, right? How just that one little thought put in their mind can change it all, right? But it goes the other way too. So if there's somebody that's not in the group and they're not acting like they're having as good a time, and somebody says something to them about how they love how they are so in tune with who they are and how they find joy in all the moments, and they just start talking about those positive aspects of them, you can almost visually watch them stand a little taller and maybe smile a little bit more. So it works both ways. And we do the same thing to ourselves when we're giving ourselves a hard time for having not got that 100, we got the 90 instead, then we're actually diminishing our vibration and everything that we were emitting by getting that 90. And so it's important for us to catch ourselves when we do that and then switch it around and start celebrating. Okay, I got a 90, but man, I got a 90. even though it wasn't the 100, I got the 90. And it raises the vibration. It raises the feel, the energy that people have around you, and it changes your subconscious mind's belief about you, right? So it's important for us to look at the words that we say and celebrate the things about ourselves that are amazing, right? I keep noticing I say right a lot, but I guess that's okay, right? See, there I go. All right. So the affirmation, I find strength and self confidence within me each and every day. It builds and builds and builds, and I feel it within me, right? So it's a big deal. And I love that you love to celebrate, Wendy. I love, Kimmy, that you celebrate. And even though sometimes you fall into that chastising thing, that now that we've had this conversation, and you might have been noticing it before, but if you didn't, now you will. And then you can flip the switch and say, "Ooh, I can say that much better than that. I am a powerful creator. I can say this differently and affect everything around me." Right? All right. And so let's see. Carrie and I think Lynn is probably at work. And yeah, Lynn, I hope, I know you're probably at work and you can't participate as much, but let's see, what does that say? Hold on. Oh, beautiful, Kimmy. I'll be flipping the switch for sure. Yes, we have so much power within us that we do not exercise. And so if I can help you with anything, it's exercising this power within you and helping you to see little tweaks that you can do during your day, you know, in just your speech itself that will make a big difference. Me too. I'm going to research that today. I am going to research that today. All right. So I've got to pop off as I need to get to a client, and I don't know, but I will check on this today and see what I can figure out. And you have, all right, did Wendy give me a calling? Have a brilliantly confident day. Yay! Oh, you're welcome, Carrie. And I know you're doing amazing things with getting your home to be your sanctuary. And just keep going and noticing the little differences that you make and celebrate them. Hi, Wendy. Hi. It's great to have you here. And we're just closing up a little bit, but real quick, I will go ahead and share the affirmation and the journal prompt again. Affirmation, I find strength and self-confidence within me each day. And we do if we want to, right? So today, reflect on moments where you felt strong and confident. What actions or thoughts helped you tap into this inner strength and self-confidence? And remember, go back into your memory banks and find an amazing time that you felt strong and confident, and just bring all of that up into you so that you can celebrate all the beautiful, beautiful things in your life. All right. So as Wendy has so eloquently said again, have a brilliantly confident day. And I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully I will have something figured out on my chords. And maybe I can get it to where it's so much better than it is right now. So I will see you tomorrow. at 9 a.m. Eastern, and I look forward to seeing you then. Mwah.